Good day, everyone. This is Julian Jitobqualan and one of the discussants about the topic nouns. So the content of our discussion is first we are going to identify what is nouns, what are the classification of nouns, the inclension and declension of nouns, the properties of nouns, and the last is the activity. But before proceeding in our topic, let's have some brain games. So, are you familiar with a game Name That Thing? If no, then let me give you some instructions. First, we're going to give you a picture, and then you will going to identify its name, but with a twist. We will going to give you the first letter of that word or word. So now, let's begin. How about this one? Can you name that thing? Yes, a person. How about this? Very good. That's animal. And the third one. Correct. Thing. Since you already knew the answers, then you have some ideas that connected to our topic noun. So what is noun? So a noun represents a person, animal, thing, idea, and places. So the noun comes from the Latin word nomen, meaning name. So noun is very known and very understandable, right? And now we have the different classifications or classes of nouns.
Good evening, everyone. I am here to tackle about the classes of nouns. First is we have a proper noun. A proper noun is a specific name of person, place, or thing. Always start with a capital letter. So, ang proper noun kuno is mga specific name o place, thing nga magkanang sugod sa big letter or capital letter. So, ang example is Albert Einstein. Ditawag ni siya as a proper noun kay gi-refers man nga one specific person ra. Not just di na lain-lain nga scientist kundi si Albert Einstein lang. Not just any scientist, only Albert Einstein ra ang gipasabot. Then second is common noun. A common noun is a general name for a person, place, or thing. It does not specify a particular one. So, for example, city. Wa siya gimin nga unsa nga klase nga city pareha sa New York or Tokyo. Kanang only city jud as in nga murag tanan na pero way gi-specify og unsa nga city. Mo na yung pasabot sa common noun. Next is concrete noun. A concrete noun is that can be seen, touch, smell, heard, or taste. Makita, mahikam, masimhot, o madungog. Ang example is apple. Matawag ni siya as a concrete noun kay it's a physical object. Makita nimo, mahikam nimo, o makaon. So, oto'y concrete noun. Next is collective noun. Collective noun is a word that refers to a group of people, animals, or things. For example, team. Gitawag siya as a collective noun kay it refers to a group of players man. So, another example is audience. Diba? Group man na sila. Motoy, collective nouns. Ang ikalima is an abstract noun. Abstract noun that represent an idea, quality, or state and cannot be touched or seen. Di kuno mahikam, di makita. For example, happiness. ang isa mo nang abstract ang happiness kay di man siya makita, di sad siya mahikam, kundi imura siyang emotion. So utoy abstract noun. Next is uncountable noun. Uncountable noun that cannot be counted individually and does not have a plural form. So ang nailaing term nga tawag sa uncountable noun mo to ang masked noun. So ang example sa uncountable noun is water. Natawag siya sa accountable noun kay ang tubig di man na maihap, kundi makakuan ka ani pero di siya maihap. You cannot count water directly unless you use units. Mugamit kag units like a glass of water. So, una uncountable noun. Next is countable noun. Countable noun that can be counted and has both singular and plural forms. For example, book. Natawag siya countable noun because you count it. Makaihap makakitay. 1 book, 2 books, and etc. Multi-countable nouns. Next is compound nouns. Compound nouns made of 2 or more words combine to form a new meaning. Magtipo kag duha ka words makombine bag-o na sad kag meaning. For example, toothpaste. Di ba duha na siya ka word, tooth ug paste. Ug buwagon sila lahi sila meaning. Kung itapo lahi na sad ang meaning, bag-o na sad ang ma-meaning. So, example. Mao to. The last but not the least. Possessive nouns. Possessive nouns show an ownership or a relationship between things. So, there are 3 types of this. Singular possessive nouns. Add s to the singular noun to show possession. So, example, the cat. The cat's tail. The tail belongs to the cat. So, ang kuan ani is, ang add s ani is the cat apostrophe s. Muna ang singular possession nouns. Then, ang ikaduha is plural possessive nouns, rather. If the plural noun already ends in s, just add an at the end. If it doesn't end in s, add s. For example, the dog's owner, the owner of multiple dogs. So, ang apostrophe is the dog's apostrophe owner. Muni ang plural possessive nouns. And another example is the children's toys. Toys belonging to multiple children. So, ang apostrophe is the children, apostrophe s, toys, add s. So, una ang plural possessive nouns. And the third one is compound possessive nouns. For compound words or phrases, add s to the last word. For example, my mother-in-law's car. The car belongs to my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law's law, apostrophe s, then car. Muna compound possessive nouns.
So now we will proceed to the next topic, which is inflection. So what is inflection? It is the process of changing a word's form to indicate its grammatical function. Inflected nouns are nouns that have been changed to indicate the rule in a sentence. So I know inflection is very understandable, right? So the question is, how inflection works? So first, add a suffix. So unsa may suffix? So I know you already know what is suffix, right? Suffix is to add an ending to a word to change its form. So for example, suffix is s. So sa word nga cat. When we say cat, so it is singular. But when we put s sunod sa t, mahimo siya og plural, which is cats. Right? Cat is singular. Then when we add a suffix, mahimo siya og plural, which is cats. Next is change spelling. So change the spelling of a word to show its grammatical meaning. So example na is fine. Fine, nahimo siya og found. So di ba na change ang iyang spelling para makita or mahibawan to og unsa jud ang gamit ana sa usa ka sentence. The find and found is different ilahang marule sa usa ka sentence. So third is use inflectional morphemes. Use inflectional morphemes like s, id, ing or ing, er, and est to show different grammatical function. So kani mga morphemes is nasa different rules or different grammatical functions sa usa ka sentence or words because lahi-lahi sila meaning. Lagi malahi ilang meaning sa usa ka sentence. Lahi-lahi sila rule. For example, as changes a noun to its plural form such as dog to dogs. Morning same to cat and cats. A cat to cats. Dog to dogs. The er changes a noun to its comparative form such as teacher to teacher. So there so in inflection there are two types of inflection. First is the regular inflection and second is the irregular inflection. So first is the regular inflection. So regular inflection is add suffixes like s or es for nouns. You must remember that regular inflection is to add we're adding s. So the regular inflection is the common way to form a plural in English. So when we add s or the suffixes s is the most common way para maghimo og plural form in English. Like book to books, pencil to pencils. Diba? It's very common para makahimo tag plural mao na to add s. Like chair, mahimo siya og chairs, diba? Giadan na og s. Mao na ang regular inflection. The apple, two apples. So next is the irregular inflection. So it is referred to when a noun changes its form to indicate plurality, like making it plural in a way that does not follow the standard rule of simply adding s or es to end. So, the irregular is dili siya mo-follow about to add s or es to the end. So key points about irregular point inflection. Of the vowel change. Many irregular plurals involve changing a vowel sound within a word like foot. Himo siya to feet. Goes to kid. So is the suffix addition. Some irregular plurals add a different suffix that just as like child to children or ox to oxen. No change in plural. So the uban is a few nouns remain the same in both singular and plural form like deer and sheep. So kanang dili ato siya pwede mabutang ang s like og ships, deers, right? So ang deer and sheep is pwede na siya mayroong singular and plural. Dili siya di ba sa plural is moatag s. Moatag mga kuan morphemes. But diri is no change in plural. Mahimo siyang plural but wala kay ma-change. Ma-same siya sa singular nga wa di kay ma-change sa usa ka words. So now that change either the spelling or pronunciation for their final sound like leaf, leaves, wolf, wolves, wife, and wives. So, like their spelling and pronunciation is na change, right? But we know nakaibaw kung unsay pasabot na or unsa ilang rule sa usa ka sentence. Makaibaw silang function nga pwede ba siya diha sa sentence gamiton or dili. So that it would be all. Thank you.
So, did you already understand what is inflection? If yes, then let's proceed to another topic. So today, I am going to discuss about what is declension. So declension, according to Livia 2021, it is changing the form of a noun to indicate its grammatical function within a sentence, such as its case, number, or gender. And it is done by adding case endings or suffixes to the noun. So, declension involves altering or changing the form of a noun to reflect its grammatical function in a sentence. So, sa ato pa, ang declension mao ang paagi sa pag-change sa noun para i-present ang iyang function within the sentence. Again, sa declension, ang i-change nato kay ang noun. So, each declension has a pattern of endings that nouns should follow. So, sa declension, dili ta magpataka na lang og change tungod kay sa ahong gibasa na ay pattern nga kailangan sundon. So, how does declension work? By number. Again, ganiha ga-mention ta og tulo ka buok, the number, the gender, and the case. So, number. Declensions can indicate whether a noun is singular or plural. So, sa ato pa, ang declension is pwede siya ma-apply sa noun to indicate whether a noun is singular. Meaning, kung singular ka ni, single or usara. Pero may tag plural, more than one. For example, in English, singular nouns remain the same, of course, while plural noun adds the suffix s or es. So, sa noun nga flower, flower means singular, but flowers with s meaning plural. Do you understand? So next, in case, case as in case. So declension can indicate the grammatical case of a noun such as. So, ang declension can indicate the grammatical case of a noun. So, pwede siya og gamitan sa case. So, there are several kinds or classification of case. So, it includes the nominative case or the subject of the sentence. So, meaning the subject mismo sa kung unsa ang gipasabot sa sentence, that is nominative. Another is dative case. So, dative case indicates the indirect object. So, dili siya ang direct jud nga gi-represent sa sentence. Accusative meaning the opposite sa dative, which is ang accusative is direct. So, direct object siya. Then, ablative answers the question where, by what, and how. So, kaning ablative is mo answer ni siya sa pangutana nga asa, unsa, o giunsa. And then, napuday, genitive case nga mo show possession, meaning ownership. So, another is, duha na to, diba? Number and case. Then, karon ano ito sa gender. Declension can indicate whether a noun is masculine. So, pwede sa gamitan na to, a noun to indicate masculine, meaning male. Kaming feminine, female, bae. Kuming kag neuter, it does not represent any gender or sex. It doesn't represent masculine or feminine. So neuter meaning no gender representation. In some languages, if a noun is masculine, kung sa ato pa kung noun, kung masculine ang noun, dapat ang adjectives o articles is dapat masculine pod. Kaya mo man siya mo represent sa noun nga masculine. Again, ang declension pwede siya mag-work sa case, number, and gender. So, unsa may mga examples sa declension nouns para atong mas masabdan? Yes. So, first declension. Sa first declension, makita niyo sa below is, first declension is mostly feminine noun. Again, feminine noun represents a female or a girl. So, example, sa grammatical case, again ganiha ga-mention kog mga grammatical case. Ani is nominative. Kung sa ganitong nominative, meaning this is a subject of the sentence. Kung sa singular, a girl. Kung mahimo siyang plural, girls. If genitive, di ba? Again, genitive shows possession or ownership. Girls with apostrophe S sa babaw, and girls with S nga ang apostrophe naa sa after sa S. So, galibog ba mo what's the difference between ang apostrophe is before sa S and apostrophe after the S? So, mo ni ang explanation. Once gani, girls, singular siya, pero girls, kay girls man kay show possession. Sample, the girl's book. So, meaning, usara siya, pero nag-show mo siya possession, then we should put S. Girl, apostrophe, then S. Again, if ang apostrophe comes before the letter S, that means singular siya nga nag-show og possession from our sentence, the girl's book. Meaning, usara siya, but it shows possession mo nang ang apostrophe comes before the S. So, ano may say explanation? If ang apostrophe comes after the S, di ba girl is singular. Pwede ka girls with S, meaning daghan. The girl's book, pero ang S, ang apostrophe, comes after the S, meaning plural na jud siya. Daghan sila nga mga babae. Mauna, og plural gani siya, ang apostrophe na nag-indicates og possession or ownership, dapat ibutang after the S. Gets pa? Again, another is dative case. Again, ang dative case shows the indirect. Indirect ha, dili direct. So, sa singular, to the girl. Kung plural, to the girls. Again, to the girls. Then, accusative, meaning direct, gi-accusahan na nimo kay direct man jud. Meaning, the girl. Mismo, the girl. Direct man. The girl. Singular ha, but kung mahimo siyang plural, the girls. Again, nasabtan na ba ang first declension? Again, first declension is mostly mga feminine. Okay, ano pa sa second declension? So, mostly masculine. Masculine meaning male. Again ha, male. So, example. Example sa masculine noun na gigamitan na to og declension. Grammatical case, nominative. Kung singular, king. Kung plural, kings. With S, good. May nga tag, genitive, again ang genitive, nag-show of possession of the kings. And kung plural, of the kings. Again, makita jud nato kuno og unsay kanang kalahian sa paggamit sa apostrophe. Then third, dative, to the king, kung singular. If plural, to the kings. And accusative, meaning direct. If we talk about singular, the king. If we talk about plural, change the king to the kings. The kings. So that are the examples of declension nouns. So do you have any questions or clarifications regarding to the declension topics? Please let me know.
So nouns have several grammatical properties, so including number, gender, case, and person. So first is the number. If singular, it refers to one object such as bus, girl, or boy. If plural, refers to more than one object such as bags, trees, or glasses. So understandable siya basta kay ang number refers to an object, one object, or more than one object. So next is gender. Gender have masculine, feminine, common, and neuter. So masculine refers to the male sex such as brother, father, or John. So from the word masculine, lalaki. And feminine refers to the female sex such as mother, sister, or Mary. Ang common refers to a noun that could be either male or female such as teacher, parent, or child. So wala siya gi-identify og unsa nga gender. It's either female ba or male. So ang neuter refers to an object that has no sex. So mao to ang gender. So number 3 is case. So there are 3 parts of case: nominative case, objective case, and possessive case. So a noun is in the nominative case when it is the subject of a sentence. So for example, she is my friend. So she is the subject performing the action. So next is objective. It is used when a noun is being acted upon in a sentence. It is also called the accusative case. This case is used when indirect object is a noun that receives the action of the verb. So ang laing term kuno sa objective is accusative case. So for example, I saw her at the park. So her is the object of the verb saw. So ang last is possessive. It is used when a noun owns something such as apostrophe s. It is also called the genitive case. So this case is used to show possession. So example, that is John's car. John's shows that the car belongs to John. So the last grammatical properties is the person. So the person of a noun refers to whether the noun is in the first, second, or third person. So first person, the person speaking. Examples: I, me, my, mine, we, us, our, and ours. So another example is I went to the store. So we are excited about the upcoming trip. So that's the first person. So ang second person, the person being spoken to. Example: you, your, and yours. So ang example sa in sentence: you should be proud of your accomplishment. So ang third person, the person being spoken about. Example: she, her, hers, himself, he, him, his, they, them, and theirs. So example: the girl went to the store. She bought some apples. So that's the third person. And that would be all Thank you.